الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، الرحمن الرحيم، مالك يوم الدين، إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين، اهدنا الصراط المستقيم، صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين، آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الفلق، من شر ما خلق، ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب، ومن شر النفاثات في العقد، ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. So the reason why we pray 5 times a day is because you're constantly reminded that you are, a human being. There's no one greater than you but God. So you're always focused on knowing your place in the world and knowing, who you are in this life. And by doing it 5 times a day, it's like you can't, if you do all those prayers, it's like you almost can't forget that, you're in this life, and it's not about the things in this life. It's about, your mind and your soul and connecting with God and knowing that no matter what, you don't really have control of everything, but just to be the best human that you can be is the main thing that you can focus on. So 5 times a day, one in the very early morning, around a little before sunrise. Then there's another one around noon, I would say like midday. And then another one at, I would say like 2 or 3, sometimes later. And then that's like more of a later lunch one. And then after that there is the sunset, and there is the last one, which is at later at night, and that's Aisha. So you have it like constantly throughout the day at these certain points, very early in the morning, then you have it all the way till at night, like right before you go to bed. So you kind of have it, there's no way you could forget. That's the whole point, is that you're constantly reminded, who you are, and that there's nothing greater than you but God. So the scarf that you see the Muslim women wear on their head, that's actually called a hijab. But hijab is also more than just a scarf. The word itself is, it symbolizes modesty. It symbolizes just the idea of covering your beauty, your physical beauty, and allowing your mind, the beauty that comes from your mind to come out rather than just your physical. But one way that girls would wear it is, so you start off like this, you have one short end, you have one long end, and you just meet in the middle under your chin. You take the long side and you bring it under, and you tuck the shorter side underneath this, and then you just wrap it around all the way through. So I think a time when, unfortunately, I wish everyone just accepted everybody, but they don't. And I think one of the hardest times for me was, not that long ago when I was in LA, and I was jogging on the, I was jogging in Santa Monica, between Venice and Santa Monica on the sidewalks. And I was jogging and minding my own business. A woman was on her bike. She came up to me and she said, "Effing Muslims." And I said, okay, well, I gave her, some of my 2 cents, because she probably thought I was oppressed and wasn't going to say anything. But I definitely said something, and she didn't like what I said, and I ended it with, this world is like this because of people like you. You're not accepting and you're not respecting my boundaries. I just kind of gave her my 2 cents and kept jogging. And she kept riding her bike, and she didn't like that I had said something back to her. She wanted me to just take the hate and go with it. She came back with her bike, and she said she told me to go back to own country, which I thought was really funny because I was born here and I grew up here, and I even grew up in a town that was so small that my family was the only Muslim family in the whole town. I've known nothing, as a child I knew nothing but America. It wasn't until I got older that I started going to visit family other places. But, then I told her, I was like, I'm from here, so what do you want me to do? I'm going to stay here. And she didn't like that, so she said effing Muslims again, was on her way. At least I thought. And so I kept jogging, and then she came back because she decided that she was not done with me, and she decided to spit on the side of, she spit on like the whole side of me, and it was like a nasty loogie that like went all the way down my shirt. I'm laughing because it sounds funny, oddly, because of the way I'm describing it, but at that moment I was so furious and so assaulted and so just embarrassed, like humiliated. I've never thought that like somebody spitting on somebody could be so just like you feel worthless. Like when she did that, I was so mad, and like my first reaction was like, I need to like protect myself, like I need to give her what she deserves. But then I figured, if I go hit her or if I do anything to her, it'll just prove to her, she'll, in her mind, she thinks my people are violent. And so it'll just prove to her that, well, I was right. They are violent. Look, she's attacking me, even though she started the incident. So I decided I was so mad. I had so much adrenaline. I just literally ran to she was riding her bike when she did it. I literally ran to the front of her bike and I grabbed her handlebars in front of her, and I was like, what is wrong with you? Like, what are you doing? You're like 60 years old. You're like so old. Like, what are you doing spitting on somebody else? Like, what, where in your mind do you think that that's okay? Like, I was jogging on the beach. You came to me. I didn't go to you. And she was just like, I just don't know why you guys are all so angry. And I was like, it's really weird that you're saying this because you're the angry one right now. That's a beautiful thing because it's a meditation. It's like you have to forget what's going on in your life and just focus on what you have, and being thankful for the people that you have in your life and what's going on around the world, and how prayer is always helpful to keep peace with yourself and your heart, and having that can only make you stronger.